there's one epic that you had to think about that you've been trying to get in this game, I'm sure there's a specific champion that comes to mind. Today, we are going to go ahead and take a look at who is in the Prism Summon pool, because there just so happens to be a champion that I've been chasing. Hey you guys, it's Cece. Welcome back to my channel. For this Prism pool, it is Force champions, which essentially are top tier champs that come from the Force affinity, which just so happens to actually be my weakness. I think in terms of all the affinity, Force is probably the one that I have the least of. Now, anytime that I pretty much talk about Prism pool and talking about the champions in there, you guys have made some great points, which is that you always look at the epics first, and honestly, that is a great strat and a great thing to decide if you actually want to make the effort to go and pull for it, because chances are you're going to be getting an epic with a 94%. Now, there is that 6% chance of a legendary, so yeah, of course you want to take a peek at the legendaries as well, or as some of you have said, you maybe bug it a little bit to try to actually hang on to your Prism pool so that it doesn't actually pull it. So kudos to you if that is something that you're actually doing. Now, in terms of the Force pool and what is actually in here, if you're talking to me between my two separate accounts, there's a different champion on both that I want. On this account, of all these epics that are in here, the one champ I would love to see show up would be Geomancer. I have actually managed to finally pull this champion on my other account, not once but twice, but this account still does not have Geomancer. And he's a champ that I would really like here because I do think he fits really well into a lot of teams, essentially. His first skill, he's got an AoE on it with a chance of actually decreasing accuracy. Second skill is going to remove all buffs from a targeted enemy and attack him. It's also going to actually steal those buffs if they're under an HP burn debuff. And it's going to reduce the cooldown of a skill by 2 turns if that target is actually killed by the skill while under HP burn debuff. Third skill fully depletes the target's turn meter with a chance of placing that HP burn, chance of placing a weaken debuff as well, and actually fills this champion's turn meter by the amount that the target loses. So I mean, along with the passive, which essentially decreases the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflects that damage onto each enemy under the HP burn debuff. Whenever this champion is attacked, it will reflect 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit, has a chance of dealing additional damage. But yes, essentially all of Geomancer's skills kind of show why he's really good and why I really want him on my account. Now, if we're talking about my other account, the one that's got 2 Geomancers, then of all these champions, the one that I want is actually this champion right here, and has nothing to do with her skills. It simply has to do with the fact that I need her for the Lady Mikage. That's it. That's the only reason. You'll see I do have her on this account. I have 2 of her actually. My other account has gotten all of 0. So those are my main epics that I would actually want, and the reason I would kind of go for this. Now, there are other epics in here as well, and some of them may be better than others. There's another potential in here for Fusion for Mikage, and as I said, they have some other ones in here who are really good champions. Rector Drath, for example. Great support in here. Attack debuff, you have a heal on the second skill and a perfect veil buff on there, continuous heal buff. You have a revive as well in here, and essentially having just her supportive skills. She's a very good champ in here. And as I said, there's some other ones in here that, you know, you might be able to build. Potentially, you'll be like, I'm lacking a champion in this for Faction Wars or for something else. But yeah, so for myself, those are the 2 epics that I would actually be looking at. Now, if we do go up into the legendaries, there's also some very good ones in here. One, of course, being Wixel, who I recently got on this account, and I'm quite excited for. I was excited to get him. You guys were excited to see me get him, and like I said, you're waiting for my clan boss team video with him, so be sure you subscribe. That video will be coming when I actually get him built and ready for the clan boss. But yes, it's one of the projects ongoing, so subscribe so you're able to see that. But great champion. We've got an AoE on the second skill, attacking an enemy 2 times on the first skill with a provoke in there. We have a decrease of attack. We have a shield buff in here. We have an intercept. He is the only champ I have between both my accounts that actually does intercept. And of course, having this kind of passive as well in here, where essentially you have that counter attack buff. There's also full Foulbeard. If you did not do the fusion, you missed the fusion, chance to get him. AoE in here, as well as attacking an enemy 2 times, ignoring some defense, increasing the attack, ignoring unkillable and shield buffs on there. Good champion, as well as I said, there's some other ones in here. This is actually a support that I think was a targeted champ at some point I went for. Didn't end up actually getting them, but yeah, first skill, you have a chance of placing a freeze on here, and then depending on how high their HP is, actually cannot be resisted. You have an increase of attack in there as well. You have a perfect veil buff. Perfect veil is always really nice. And you do have an AoE revive on here with HP, with turn meter. So like I said, there's definitely some good champions in here. There's some other ones in here that, I don't know, probably not the top of your list, but they do have some pretty good ones. So I did take a look at this. I looked at who was kind of in the rotation right now, and if it was something I was actually interested in. They even have this Freya. If you missed this when they had the Asgard, everything going on in here, she's in here as well. So some good champs, but definitely great advice to be like, I look at the epics first, Cece, and then I decide if I want to go ahead and try to grab whatever it is on the Prism Shard, whatever event that they actually have going on at the time. Which for this one, as I said, there's a couple champs in here that I did have my eyes on, but I actually have quite a few of these Force ones as well, which is kind of nice because it means my Force collection is growing. So for this time, what you actually need to do if you are wanting to go ahead and grab the Prism Shard without actually buying anything for it, it is a fire turn attack, and essentially it is clearing it in as few turns as possible to win the rewards. Now, I opted not to actually go ahead and farm this one to give you an idea of why I didn't end up grabbing it. But as I said, I kind of took a look at who was in there and if it was worth it for me right now with everything going on in the game, because of course we do have a fusion happening right now as well. But yeah, it is a turn one, and honestly, you guys, when it comes to myself and Fire Knight, you know I am not deep down in there, and you probably can confirm and understand that I don't have a very fast turn attack. So I'll actually show you guys and take you down in with me. But yeah, it would be normal stage that I would actually go ahead and farm, and I think I'd be in the, I think it was the 12 to 16 range, which was my faster run. I did one run just to see, and I got 15 points from it. So yeah. So for myself, if I actually show you guys my turn attack, now I could probably adjust my team, change my team to have a faster, slower turn, but I'm not really going to farm stage 10 for it. I guess I could, but I feel like I would use so much energy if I actually go ahead and do that. Going down further, I think the one that I think it was 16 I did to get those points just to see where I was at, and that was 92 for my lowest turn. Again, I could definitely speed my team actually up in here and make a different team, but I opted not to go ahead and actually farm for it because, as I said, lots of other things that I do need to farm right now. We do still have the event dungeon happening as well, which I'm actually curious. Are you guys farming the event dungeon? Are you still doing that? Did you get anything good from it? I farmed it a little bit, but I honestly wasn't getting amazing things from it. And like I said, so much other stuff happening, other fusions going on in the game. So that's kind of where my focus and my attention went for the time being, actually. So I was talking about not having Geomancer on this account. This is the account, obviously, that's got him. As you can see, he's in there with my team. So definitely happy with that epic. And even though, yes, I need that champion for Mikage, there is another champ I'm actually looking for her. So what are my odds of all those epics to actually pull that specific legendary? I mean, you don't know, I guess, if you don't actually try, which is super fair, but I did end up opting to actually skip this Prism Crystal, at least for this time around. If you download Raid Shadow Legends using my link, I'm actually going to start you off with the free legendary champion on day 1. And then at level 10, level 20, and level 30, you'll get yourself an epic. That is 4 amazing champions that you can get just by downloading using my link. I am curious though, if you guys ended up going for it, who did you end up grabbing from your Prism Crystal? If you pulled, if it pulled for you, who did you get? Comment down below and let me know. And if you opted not to actually do it, then let me know, how is your fusion progress going? Be sure you guys also subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. I am putting a video out a day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!